So, Gary, we all know that water is not good for a house.
I think that's safe to say unless you're in the shower.
Yeah, exactly. And a roof's supposed to keep water out. So we're talking roof leak and the damage repair. Let's first talk about how big of a leak are we talking? Or when does a leak become a problem? How about that?
Well, let me bring this up because recently we've gotten quite a few phone calls about roof leaks.
Yeah.
But because of the cold, all the snow we've had, a lot of ice dams have formed.
Yep.
So when those ice dams form, there's really not a whole lot you can do. Personally, I don't want to send guys on the roof. It's too dangerous when there's snow and ice.
What could you do anyway other than melt the ice that's there?
Well,
you can't.
There's calcium chloride tablets that you can throw up on the roof behind the dams and try and get that. You can also take calcium chloride, put it in pantyhose, tie the two ends. Yeah,
wow.
You kind of make a little sandbag out of it, and throw that up behind the dam and get.
No kidding. No, I didn't know that.
Moving.
And that actually helps it just melt a little quicker and move on down.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, but the other
damage
thing
is done there with that anyway.
Yeah, and the other concern I have about that is if it's not melting fast enough, that water is backing up.
Right.
And
that's
maybe even doing more damage.
Yeah.
And if it gets to the point where it's safe to go on the roof, we can go on the roof and sweep off some snow and possibly break up some of the ice. But the problem there is you're taking the chance of gutters coming down. We don't like to do that.
So really, for specifically for ice dams, there's not a lot you can do to get the repair going until spring gets here. Is that correct?
No, as a matter of fact, the roofing manufacturers, the shingle manufacturers, they won't warrant ice dams. So their warranties are quite extensive, but ice damming is not part of it.
Okay.
And we consequently we can't warrant it either.
Okay.
We do have a 10-year labor warranty on anything that we've done. If we've put a new roof on and there's an issue, we'll come out and take care of it.
Let's talk about other potential leaks. Where do they come in?
Well, we put, and per code, we put what's called ice and water shield on the edge of the roof.
Yeah.
And what that is supposed to do is protect from water coming in. But with the ice damming we've had and all the snow we've had, what happens is that water backs up, and the water can actually go uphill due to capillary action.
Oh, really?
It's so tight that the water can be drawn up into it, go beyond that ice and water shield, run its way under the...
And then underneath.
Yeah, and then start leaking.
I didn't realize that. That's interesting.
Yeah, and usually what you'll see is the leaks are in the corners where the ceiling comes down and meets the wall. That's oftentimes where the leak occurs.
Okay.
Now, if there's significant damage as a result of that, there can be a claim filed.
Okay.
A lot of times what we find is the repair isn't big enough to file a claim, and we don't want them to file an unnecessary claim because that can count against them with the insurance company.
Sure, yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll go out and we'll give them a price on the repair, and oftentimes it's less than the deductible.
Okay.
So we tell them, don't file a claim, we'll take care of this and move on from there.
Where else do leaks happen in the summertime? Where do they typically happen on a roof?
Well, sometimes, if a roof is older, it can occur just about anywhere. And oftentimes it's around a pipe boot. A pipe boot is stacked on the roof.
Okay.
And that is for the plumbing, actually. It's like, you put a straw in a glass and you put your finger over it.
Right.
You release your finger, the water comes out. Well, if you don't have that stack, your drains aren't going to work.
Aren't going to go anywhere. Okay.
So there's a pipe boot that can degrade because of the UV rays or other reasons. Maybe it wasn't caulked properly.
Okay.
So oftentimes, and the way you know it's a stack collar, it's usually the leak could be in a bathroom. You'll see that stain up there.
Maybe up on the ceiling?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah. And then we can fix that as well.
So when you find those leaks, and I have to imagine they're maybe around Skylights and other places too, where there's some. So how do you just real quickly? What's the process of discovering how bad the leak, how much damage there is, and then what's the extent of the work you can do to make everything? Again, if it's near a skylight.
Okay, a skylight. Here's the thing. A lot of times people will replace a roof, but they don't replace the skylight. Replacing a roof, that's a great time to replace a skylight because the crew is there.
Yeah.
We're doing all the shingling. It's easy to take that thing out, put a new one in, and then put all the new flashing on and the shingles over it. If if we put a new roof on and the customer says we don't want to replace the skylights, that's okay.
Yeah.
That skylight could last the lifetime of the roof.
Sure.
But it could not.
Yeah.
And so we tell them, if you don't want to replace the skylights now, just know it's going to be costlier if and when you do get a leak. And we'll replace it. We'll get the shingles that match what you have now.
Yeah.
But chances are these are going
Later.
to be weathered.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
your new shingles are going to stand out, like
Yeah.
a sore thumb.
Yeah.
So we recommend doing the skylights at that point. There are times when people say my skylight is leaking. We didn't do the roof, someone else did it. We'll have to remove all the shingles around it.
Yeah.
And you get a flashing kit for that size skylight. We'll put a new flashing kit on, make sure we put ice and water shield all around it, do any caulking that might be necessary as well.
And once you've made a roof repair or a leak repair, your warranties in terms of what should I expect?
That's difficult because if you warrant a repair, a leak can occur somewhere else, and that
Get down to that repaired area?
get down to that repaired area, and ourselves and I think most roofers don't warrant repairs.
Just can't do that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. But we do the best we can when we do a repair to make sure at least that area is not going to leak again.
And again, is there any rough time frame? It's like if I notice I've got troubles, let's just take the skylight. I got some troubles up there.
Okay.
To how long it takes you guys to identify the problem, get it fixed?
If it is a skylight and we need a flashing kit, we just need to measure the skylight.
Yeah.
And buy the proper flashing kit, take some shingles off, put that flashing kit down, and replace it with new shingles.
If let's say I need some plywood. Let's say if I need some plywood a day, 2 days?
Now, when you say plywood, it would depend how much you need.
Well, sure, yeah.
Now, I can tell you this. We got a call from a lady that had mold in her roof. She stuck her head up there into the hatch a little bit. She couldn't get all the way up. When my guy went all the way up there, the entire deck of the roof had black mold on it.
Oh, geez.
So as a consequence, we had to not only put a new roof on, we had to tear off all the sheeting, replace the sheeting, put down the felt, the ice and water shield, and new ventilation, of course.
So you can never know for sure if you've got a leak or something happening here. Depending how long it could have, this mold could happen. And you don't know for sure until you guys get a chance to take a look.
A good way to find that out is if you look in your attic and you'll see nails coming through.
Sure, yeah.
If you see the nails are rusted, you know water's coming in around,
good point.
around that nail. Yeah.
Good. All right.
And you might not see it because it's in the insulation. Maybe it hasn't made its way down yet, but it will eventually.
But you guys, if I have you up on my roof, again, whatever the problem is, you guys can take care of it and leave it looking beautiful. And
absolutely. Of course, it is a matter of the shingles matching the repair.
That's, sure.
Now, what we do, we always leave extra shingles when we put a roof on.
Okay.
Just for the sake of repair down the road.
Okay.
So they have them there. Now, again, if it's 9 years down the road and their roof has aged a little bit, the shingles we left behind might still look different than what's there, but we know it's the closest match. So, and we don't have to charge them for more shingles at that time.
One last question. This goes back maybe to the insurance question where it's, okay, there's not a whole lot of damage. I'll use the skylight again around it. But if we come down to that shingle problem, you can't match the shingles. Mm-hmm. Does the insurance company ever go, all right, we can okay the entire reshingling?
This past fall, I had that issue.
Okay.
The adjuster said we're only going to do a repair.
Okay.
And we agreed what needed to be done, and we saw what needed to be done. We sent the shingles to a place called ITEL because there was no identification on the shingle itself. Sometimes there is, sometimes there isn't.
Okay.
So we sent it to ITEL, and they sent a report back on what shingle it is and where you can get it. Well, we always know where we can get them, but it lets you know what it is. So we went and bought a couple bundles of those shingles, did the repair, and it was basically black and white.
Okay.
And so the lady called the insurance company and said, I am not happy with this. I don't want the way it looks. Ohio's what's called a matching state, where if you do a repair like that, it has to match.
Okay.
And that's in the law. So she called the adjuster and said, I'm not happy with this. I want my whole roof replaced because it just looks ridiculous. So the adjuster agreed. So now we're doing the roof. It got into the winter. We had to put it off. So
Sure, but
now that it's clearing, we're putting
it's
that
good to
roof
know
on.
for folks maybe that's
Absolutely.
of the law here in Ohio, and that
Absolutely.
so if
Most
that-
people don't know that it's a matching state, and in order to repair shingles, that they need to match, or siding for that matter.
Okay.